Hi friends, this is Atul Shingrawadi here. I welcome you in the video lecture series over this data mining and data warehousing. Now, this is what a video where I am going to discuss some of the concepts related to mining of frequent patterns, association and correlations. Now, here we are going to discuss what exactly the frequent patterns are, and that's why the topic of discussion of this particular video is basic concepts in this particular area. If you remember, in my last videos over this data mining and data warehousing, we have seen what this particular data mining process is, what are the warehouses, how they are constructed, and how or what are the different features of those particular warehouses. Even we have discussed the concept of OLTP and OLAP. Now, once all those particular things are finalized, once those particular warehouses are built properly, constructed properly by making use of different warehouse models, okay, the next important stage inside this particular what we can say data mining process, that is known as mining of frequent patterns. Mining of frequent patterns. Now, while doing this, we have to consider two more terminologies which are known as what we can say association and correlation. Okay. Now, of course, association and correlation, this is not a topic of discussion of this particular video, but to get the concept properly, I will mention what this association and correlation is, what is the basic difference of them. Now, association and correlation, these are nothing but the concepts related to what we can say the rules which are formed on those particular item sets which are quite related to each other. Okay. So, association is nothing but it is the relation between or among different data elements or different data sets, whereas correlation, that is near about same concept as that of association, but broadly this correlation discusses the measure of that particular relationships in that particular data sets, measure of relationships in that particular data sets. So this is what the basic difference between this association and correlation. Association always gives the relationships among data elements, whereas correlation always specifies the measure of that particular relationship. Okay, now let us move further. Yes. Now, what this particular what frequent pattern is? We know that, and even we are going to discuss it with the help of certain what we can say example of data sets. We will calculate what are those frequent patterns there. Okay. So basically, as we can see here, frequent patterns are the patterns which may be a set of items, that may be a subsequence, that may be substructure, etc., that appears intermittently in data. Whenever we consider a data warehouse or a huge collection of data, there may be what we can say some data items that frequently appears together, or there may be number of data items that frequently appears together. And those data items that appears inside the databases frequently are called as what we can say frequent patterns. So that pattern word may be related to what we can say a single item, that may be related to what we can say two items or number of items in a sequence. Okay. So frequent patterns are those patterns which may be either a set of items, okay, that may be a subsequence where we can have a pattern or a particular data item that appears after a particular appearance of particular data item. Okay, or there may be a substructure that generally appears intermittently inside the databases or inside the data sets. Okay. Now, an intermittent data sets or intermittent item set is a set of data that occurs frequently together in a transaction data set. Okay. Generally, intermittent item set is a set of data that occurs intermittently or that occurs frequently together. Of course, this is what a very important characteristics. Intermittent item set, this is a set of data that occurs frequently together in a transaction data set. Now, if we take an example of transaction data set, where we can have the number of transactions recorded for the customers or customers ID. Suppose we are having 5 customer IDs and the transactions are recorded, and that particular transaction data set is nothing but a set of what we can say transactions or set of what we can say the items that are purchased by the customers. Sometimes the customer may purchase a particular item, some another customer may purchase number of items, some another customer again may purchase some another items. So that transaction data set is nothing but it is a set of that particular transactions which keeps a record of the purchase of different customers. Okay, and in that particular data set, okay, intermittent item set is a set of items or set of data that occurs frequently, repeatedly, that occurs frequently together is the word. That is very important one for finding the patterns. Okay, in a transaction data set, okay, an example is given here, a set of items such as table and chair. Set of items such as table and chair that may occur frequently inside that particular data set. What is subsequence? So subsequence means firstly buying a computer system, then UPS, thereafter a printer. Okay, so this appears most frequently in a database of shopping history and is called as frequent sequential pattern. Now keep in mind, okay, what is subsequence? As the name indicates, sequence, but that sequence is what we can say a part of certain what we can say transactions, and that's why it is known as subsequence. So what is subsequence? It means that firstly buying a computer system, okay, buying a computer system, then UPS if someone buys computer system first. After buying computer system, the customer may need a UPS, and that's why he bought it. After buying that particular UPS system, after some times or some days, he may feel that he has to buy printer, or at a particular day, he may buy a computer first, then UPS, then a printer. So this particular sequence, which is a part of that overall transaction database, is considered as what we can say a subsequence. Okay, so this appears most frequently in a database of shopping history and is called as frequent subsequence or frequent sequential pattern. Is it okay? So what are the terminologies? Again, I will repeat. Frequent patterns are those patterns which may be a set of items. Okay. Sometimes there may not be any relations, but suppose consider that some types of items may be bought frequently by the customers. Okay. There may not be certain what we can say the relation among them, but by making use of this terminology, we can have certain relationship, or we can what we can say establish certain relationships depending on what type of items the customers frequently purchase. And of course, this particular terminology is useful. Association rule mining is useful for managerial decision making purpose. Okay. So what are frequent patterns? Those are those patterns that may be either a set of items, that may be a subsequences, that may be considered as a substructure, etc. that appears intermittently inside the database. Okay. Now let us move further. Yes. Now, what that substructure is basically, we have seen. Okay. What that substructure is. So, substructure is a particular structure form such as subgraph, that may be either subtree. Okay, so substructure as a particular structure forms such as subgraph, that may be a subtree. The substructure that appears intermittently is named as frequent substructure patterns. Very simple. Whenever the frequent word that we have to write, frequent data, frequent pattern, frequent subsequence or frequent sequence, even frequent structural patterns. So if that particular pattern, if that substructure, if that particular structure appears frequently, then it will be called as what we can say frequent pattern. Okay, so such types of discovered frequent patterns plays an important role in the field of correlation mining. Okay, of course, in case of correlation mining also, in case of association, in case of clustering and other data mining tasks. Yes, of course. I have already specified that this particular data mining is a process called as knowledge discovery. And for discovery of knowledge, okay, finding those frequent patterns, finding the regularities among the data items, that regularity may be considered for one single data item, as I already said, that may be considered for what we can say, two data items together, that may be considered for a particular sequence of data items, that may be considered for what we can say a structure of that particular data items. So such types of regularities that we find inside that particular what we can say data set, okay, are called as frequent patterns, and these frequent patterns always plays discovered such discovered frequent patterns always plays an important role in case of correlation mining or in case of association clustering, which are considered as some of the data mining tasks. Okay, now what this particular frequent pattern analysis is. Okay, I have already specified the same terminologies, okay, in this particular last two slides. But again, the exact definition, frequent pattern, a pattern that may be a set of items, subsequences, substructure, etc. that occurs frequently in a data set. I have already mentioned if frequent patterns are nothing but these are the patterns which may be considered as a set of items, that may be a subsequences, that may be a substructure, okay, that occurs frequently in a data set. And what is data set? Data set is nothing but it is the set of data items, of course. That may be considered as a transaction data set. Okay, as an example, that may be considered as a transaction data set where we have a recorded transactions of different customers for different items. Means what those particular customers have bought together, whether he has bought first only one item, whether he has bought number of items together. So that particular what we can say transactions are recorded inside a data set or database, and that is known as what we can say a transactional database. So frequent patterns in such transactional data set are nothing but those patterns which may be either considered as a set of items, that may be considered as subsequences, substructures that occurs frequently in a data set. Now, this particular terminology is first proposed by Agrawal and Swami, okay, in 93, of course, in the context of frequency item sets and association rule mining. Okay, so those were the authors, or those were the what we can say the researchers, Agrawal and Swami. They have what we can say proposed this particular terminology called as frequent item sets and association rule mining. Once those particular frequent item sets are found, okay, once those frequent item sets are found, then we can have certain rule mining algorithms, association rule mining. What is the association among them that can easily be calculated? Okay. Now, what is the motivation behind finding these frequent patterns? So, the first motivation is that finding inherent regularities in data, as I have already said. Finding those patterns which frequently appears is called as what we can say regular data items or regular sequence of data items that appears inside the data sets. Okay. As an example, what products were often purchased together? ऐसे कौन से products है जो हम एक साथ purchase करते हैं? May be considered as what we can say beer and diapers. Okay. So beer and diapers that may be considered as what we can say those data items that are frequently purchased. अब आप लोगों को लगेगा यहाँ पे सर ने बियर और डायपर के बारे में क्यों बताया? Is it is having any connection? Okay, so there is a history behind this particular concept beer and diapers. Okay, now it is what we can say said that कि whenever that particular customer bought what we can say diapers for their children, small kids, okay, at the weekend they also buy what we can say a beer for them, okay. So whenever they are going to buy that particular diapers for their kids, for themselves, okay, for himself rather, he will also buy what we can say a beer, what we can say to celebrate that particular weekend. So this is what the concept that was given in what we can say the survey, research survey, or this particular data collection survey over that particular what we can say foreign countries. And that's why it is the example is given like this, ki what products were purchased together, as an example beer or diapers. What are the subsequent purchases after buying a PC? Another example is what are the subsequent purchases after buying a PC? Now, if suppose the beer and diapers, those are bought together, okay, that is another part. That is another type of what we can say purchase made by those particular customers. But what are the subsequent purchases after buying a PC? As I have already said, once a particular PC is what we can say purchased, then UPS, then printer that may be needed by that particular customer, and that's why he will going to purchase those particular items after purchasing PC, and that's why that is considered as what we can say a subsequent purchases. पहले पीसी परचेज करेगा, उसके बाद में वो, उसके बाद में प्रिंटर। लेकिन बियर और डायपर ये केस हमने कैसे बताई कि दोज आर जनरली बॉट टुगेदर। और इसी कारण तो ये जो चीजें हैं वो जब ध्यान में आई कि whenever in the weekends like what we can say Fridays or Saturdays, okay, on those weekend nights, okay, whenever those particular whenever those particular employees are returning to their home from their offices, okay, if suppose their wives have a message for them to buy a diapers for their kids, whenever they go to that particular shop, okay, they also bought the beer for themselves, and that's why those particular shopkeepers, okay, after making a survey over this, okay, they keep that particular items together, okay. मतलब बियर डायपर्स के साथ में साइड में ही एक बियर का डिस्प्ले रहता था, तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो कस्टमर का जो अट्रैक्शन है उसकी तरफ जाता था while buying the particular diapers, and that's why the sale of those particular products in combination like beer and diapers that will automatically increase. So this is what the motive behind this particular what we can say concept, okay. Another example is what kinds of DNA are sensitive to this new drug. This is also one of the famous example, okay, कि whenever the new drug is what we can say manufactured, what are the kinds of DNA, okay. So we can have a substructure type of pattern mining, substructure type of pattern finding. We can automatically classify web documents. मतलब what is the motivation behind this particular frequent item set mining? So we can automatically classify the web documents. Yes, web documents can also be classified automatically by using this particular concept called as frequent item sets mining. So this is what the concept where what we can say the users of those particular websites, web pages, okay, they always what we can say, suppose consider that a particular website is visited what we can say maximum time, or particular web pages are visited or searched by the customers maximum number of times, and that's why if you find inside that particular Google search also, okay, whenever some particular word is searched by the user, the related terminologies, the related wording, the related websites, web pages, that also given to the customer, or that also given to the user, suppose. So these are what we can say the different motivations behind that particular frequent item set mining. Now, what are the different applications where this particular terminology of frequent pattern analysis or frequent pattern mining is useful? Now, of course, frequent pattern analysis or frequent pattern mining, that is one of the same thing. Okay. So applications are basket data analysis. Now, what is basket data analysis? Of course, whenever we go to those particular Walmart or shopping mart, okay, okay. So at that particular time, we always take a basket, okay, to keep those particular products that we have to purchase. हम लोग कलेक्ट करते जाते हैं, अलग अलग रोज में जाते हैं और अलग अलग जगह से हम जो हमारे रिक्वायरमेंट्स है उसके हिसाब से आइटम्स को उस बास्केट के अंदर डालते रहते हैं. So what that particular basket should consist of, okay, what that particular basket should consist of, this can be what we can say analyzed This can be analyzed by seeing or by observing or analyzing the previous transactions made by number of customers. Previous transactions made by number of customers. कि उन्होंने previously क्या किए थे, कौन से ऐसे आइटम्स हैं जो ज्यादा एक साथ खरीदे जाते हैं. And that's why the application already says that ki this particular frequent data mining concept is used for basket data analysis purpose. Basket data analysis. Even that can also be used for cross marketing. Even that can be used for catalog designing. Okay. Even we can have sales campaign analysis, weblogs. Okay. Weblog analysis and DNA sequence analysis. So these are some of the what we can say application areas where this particular terminology called as frequent pattern analysis is generally useful. Okay, so yes, of course, we can have what we can say the view clear from this particular concept. Ki this particular frequent pattern analysis is the terminology that is used by, or that is used rather for what we can say the predictions. That is used for what we can say increasing the sales of those particular what we can say shopping marts or web marts. Sorry, what we can say Walmarts and so on. Okay, so it is a process where generally those particular items which are bought together, which are bought one after another, okay, that should be placed in a particular what we can say area, okay, near to each other so that the customers will have their attraction or what we can say their yes, we can say attraction over those particular things, okay, and they can buy it properly. Okay, now why this particular frequent pattern mining is important? I have already explained that particular concept. Why this frequent pattern mining is important. Now, it always discloses an intrinsic and important property of data sets. Yes. Why this frequent mining is important? Because it is used to, what we can say, calculate, it is used to abstract what is the intrinsic and important property of data sets. Okay. Again, if we take the same example of that particular transaction data sets, okay. So whenever we collect data in that particular data sets for number of transaction by number of customers, it looks like a normal one. But if we analyze that particular data sets, we often found that some of the items are purchased frequently. Okay. And what those particular items are, that can be found. Okay, because if suppose there are 4, 5, 6 transactions, we can easily find out what are those particular items that are frequently purchased by the customers. But for a particular Walmart or for a particular mall, okay, जहाँ पे हम बहुत सारे products रखते हैं, बहुत सारे customers, हजारों customers दिन में आते रहते, so manually finding out what are those particular items which are purchased together, which are frequently purchased, which are subsequently purchased, okay, that cannot be manually find out, okay, and that's why we need certain what we can say algorithms, we need certain computerized process to find out those particular items, and that will automatically give what we can say the intrinsic and important property of that particular data sets. It forms the foundation for many essential data mining tasks. Frequent pattern mining is important because it always forms the foundation for many essential data mining tasks. I have already specified data mining process is generally used to what we can say discover the knowledge. So from such huge data sets, if we go to find those particular frequent purchases or frequent transactions, automatically by making use of those frequent transactions, by making use of those relationships among what we can say products, the shopkeeper have certain idea regarding the future of that particular what we can say shop. Okay, so this is what an important one. Now association, correlation and causality analysis, these are the basic concepts that are generally useful while doing this particular task of frequent pattern analysis. Then sequential, structural, that may be example is considered as subgraphs, patterns that may be find out as I have already said. Then pattern analysis is spatio-temporal. It is for multimedia, time series and stream data. Okay. Then we can have classification like associative classification that can be applied over this. Okay. Then cluster analysis where frequent pattern based clustering that is possible. Okay. Frequent pattern based clustering that is possible. Of course, in my next videos, of course, Okay, we are going to focus over this particular concept of called as what we can say cluster analysis. Then we can have data warehousing where iceberg cube and cube gradients, such types of what we can say concepts that can be utilized. Then semantics data compression. Okay, then we can have another broad application areas where this particular frequent pattern mining is quite important. Okay, now let us discuss what frequent patterns and association rules are, because if we have to find out those frequent patterns, okay, from that particular data sets, and or if we find out that particular frequent patterns, we have to apply certain rules over that particular one. Okay, and all of the rules are not what we can say always a interesting one. So by making analysis of those particular rules, we can have the future prediction over those particular what we can say transactions. Okay, now if we assume here, this is what we can say a data set where the transactions IDs are recorded as 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So there are 5 transaction IDs, and these are what we can say the items bot column where we are having ABD, ACD. So these are what we can say everyone A, B, C, D, E, F. These are considered as the items. Okay, items that are bought by the customer. So if we assume here, okay, in case of transaction number 10 by a particular customer, okay, A, B and D, these are the 3 items he has purchased. In case of transaction number 20, A, C and D, these 3 items he has purchased. And of course, these items purchased, those are given in sequence. यानी पहले उसने A buy किया था, फिर B buy किया, फिर D buy किया, like that. And likewise, we can have what we can say the transactions recorded for 5 different transaction IDs. Okay. Now, this is what the diagram. Here this diagram shows that the relationships between that particular beer and diaper. Okay. Now, the what we can say this particular what we can say oval, okay, along with this particular yellow and this particular color, that shows the customers that buys beer, whereas this particular oval that shows the customers that buys diaper. But there are certain customers, okay, as I have already said, this particular frequent pattern analysis concept is always used to find out those transactions or those items that are taken together, that are bought together, that are purchased together. So this particular part of this particular diagram, which is considered as the intersection part, that always specifies those customers that buys both, that is what beer as well as diapers. And we are specially interested in this particular part. Is it okay? So now suppose if we take it with the help of what we can say the actual analysis concept. Okay. Now suppose consider this is what an item set X. Okay. In general, it is given that item set X equals to X1, X2 up to Xk. So this is what the set of K items, as I have already given here. Now in our item set we are having A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the items, these are the products. Okay, now find all the rules X tends to Y. Find all the rules X tends to Y with minimum support and confidence. अब हमें करना क्या है? हमें ये जो पर्टिकुलर आइटम सेट है इनके अंदर का एसोसिएशन फाइंड आउट करना है, और एसोसिएशन अगर हमें फाइंड आउट करना है तो उसके लिए एसोसिएशन रूल्स हमें जनरेट करने पड़ेंगे. And association rule is nothing but it is what we can say the relation between or among different items in the item set. Okay, and for that purpose we will make use of support and confidence as the two terminologies here, and these are the very much important terminologies for finding these association rules. In my previous videos, okay, I have already specified all the rules that are generated from that particular item set are of no importance. Some of the rules may be having a specific importance. By making use of those particular rules, we can have certain prediction, and that's why what we can say here, support as is what? Support as is the probability. This is what the probability that a transaction contains X union Y. Okay. So what is support? Support is given by what we can say yes character, that is S, or notation S. Support is given by S, and that is nothing but a probability that a transaction contains X union Y. What it means? Support is a terminology that will calculate what are those particular transactions in which X and Y both are bought together. Is it clear? Support is that particular terminology that will, what we can say, calculate what are those particular transactions where X and Y products are bought together. X and Y products are bought together. Whereas confidence is that particular terminology, okay? Confidence is that particular terminology which is given by the symbol C, okay? Where conditional probability can be calculated that represents or that gives those transactions having X also contains Y. Okay, having X also contains Y. Now see, if we have the attention over this X tends to Y, इसका meaning ये हो रहा है कि whenever the X is bought, Y is also bought, or there is what we can say a connection between X and Y. Okay, X and Y, X tends to Y. This is considered as one of the association rule. Very simple. X tends to Y is considered as one of the association rule. Okay, like what we can say, when A is bought, B is also bought. So we can have A tends to B. Okay, now what is that particular support? So support X is nothing but it is the probability where X and Y both are bought together. Okay, that is considered as support. Means how many number of transactions are there where X and Y are bought together, that is calculated as support. Whereas what is confidence? Confidence is the conditional probability that the transaction having X also contains Y. मतलब ऐसे कितने ट्रांजेक्शन्स है या ऐसे कितने ट्रांजेक्शन्स हो सकते, बिकॉज कॉन्फिडेंस इज ऑलवेज गिवन एज अ प्रेडिक्शन. ऐसे कितने ट्रांजेक्शन्स हो सकते जिसके अंदर, ओके, जिसके अंदर अगर X है तो Y भी होगा. अगर X नाम का प्रोडक्ट किसी ने खरीदा होगा तो Y भी उसने खरीदा होगा. ये कैलकुलेट करने वाला जो होता है दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज कॉन्फिडेंस. ओके, सो मैं फिर से बता रहा हूं कि कॉन्फिडेंस सी दैट इज द कंडीशनल प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट अ ट्रांजैक्शन हैविंग X also contains Y. Now if we take this with the help of this particular example here in this particular what we can say figure, okay. Now let us suppose support minimum. Support minimum means minimum support. Suppose that is considered as 50%. And confidence is given as what we can say 50%. Okay. So what are those frequent patterns? Now as we can see here in this particular chart, what are those frequent patterns? Okay, so those are given here. Now here in this 5 transaction, A appears what we can say 3 times, and that's why it is written as A:3. B appears 3 times. Then D appears 4 times. Okay. Then we can have E 3 times and A and D in combination appears 3 times. Now you can see here. Okay, A and D that appears what we can say 3 times. In case of what we can say the first transaction, A and D appears. In case of second one, A and D appears. In case of third one also, A and D appears. So that is given as what we can say frequent patterns. Okay. Now if we take the example of this particular relationship A and D, अगर A और D के बीच में रिलेशनशिप हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे तो सपोर्ट कितना है और कॉन्फिडेंस कितना है ये हम फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं. Now how this particular A and D are related? इसका सपोर्ट अगर कैलकुलेट करना है तो देखो A और D का. Now we can see, of course, very simple. If there are 5 number of transactions, okay, and how many times this A and D together appears is called as support. Very simple. Getting this? हम A tends to D ये रूल सेटिस्फाई कर रहे हैं या A tends to A एसोसिएटेड विद D इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, तो उसका सपोर्ट कितना और कॉन्फिडेंस कितना ये हम कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं इस पर्टिकुलर डेटा सेट से. टोटल नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस कितने हैं? 5. नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस आईडी 5 है, सो टोटल नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शन n इक्वल्स टू 5. एंड व्हाट इज दिस सपोर्ट? सपोर्ट इज नथिंग बट it is the quantity that is given. Support and confidence both are given in what we can say percentage. We can give it in percentage. Okay, so if we consider there are 5 transactions, each of the transaction will have a weightage of 20%. ये समझ में आ रहा? If there are 5 transactions and if we consider all these particular transactions as 100%, so each of the transaction is having a weightage of 20% because 20 into 5 that is equals to 100. Okay, so A tends to D. Okay, तो इसका अगर हम सपोर्ट निकालना है तो इस पर्टिकुलर ब्रैकेट में सपोर्ट कितना दिया है 60% और कॉन्फिडेंस कितना दिया है 100%. अब सपोर्ट 60% क्यों आया? दिस इज बिकॉज व्हेन A appears D also appears. This is considered as A union D. So how many times this A and D appears inside this particular data set? Inside the first transaction A and D is there, inside the second one also A and D is there, inside the third one also A and D is there. So A union D, A union D ये पर्टिकुलर इसकी पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू कितनी है 3. Now here, in case of what we can say the fifth transaction, D is there, but A is not there, and that's why we will not consider that. So we are having three such transactions where A is appeared with D, and that's why A union D is considered as 3. Now, how many number of total transactions are there? 5. So 3 divided by 5. Support value divided by, matlab A union D divided by 5. Okay, count of A union D divided by 5. 5 is what? Total number of transactions. That always gives the support. So 3 by 5, and 3 by 5 is nothing but it is what we can say a 60%. Okay, 3 transactions among 5 transactions, or 3 transactions out of 5 transactions. It means it is what? A 60% support. And what is confidence for A टेंड्स टू डी और A टेंड्स टू डी, ये जो पर्टिकुलर रिलेशन है इसके लिए कॉन्फिडेंस कितना है? 100%. अब 100% कॉन्फिडेंस कैसे आया? आज वी ऑलरेडी सेड कि कॉन्फिडेंस जो होता है वो कैसे मेजर करते हैं, हमने देखा है कॉन्फिडेंस कैसे मेजर करते हैं. व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन फॉर मेजरिंग कॉन्फिडेंस? सो डेफिनेशन ये है कि कॉन्फिडेंस C इज नथिंग बट इट इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट अ ट्रांजैक्शन हैविंग X also contains Y. Transaction having X also contains Y. This is what the probability. Okay, so 1 minute. So here we can say that this particular confidence for A tends to B, okay, that can be calculated like this. अब देखो किस तरह से 100% आया. अब मुझे बताओ A tends to D के लिए हमें कॉन्फिडेंस वैल्यू निकालनी है. ओके, ऐसे कितने ट्रांजैक्शंस हैं, ओके, जिसके अंदर X है, मतलब X की जगह पे हम यहाँ पे कौन सी टर्म यूज कर रहे हैं? A, और Y की जगह पे कौन सी टर्म यूज कर रहे हैं? D. तो ऐसे कितने ट्रांजैक्शंस है जिसमें A है? सो देयर आर 3 ट्रांजैक्शंस, 1 2 एंड मतलब ट्रांजैक्शन नंबर 10 20 एंड 30. सो देयर कम्स A, बट वी नो दैट दिस D comes 4 times, that is in case of transaction 10 20 30 and 50. लेकिन जब A आ रहा उस समय D कितने ट्रांजैक्शंस में आ रहा उसके साथ में? A कितने बार आया है? 3 बार. और D 3 बार A आते समय D उसके अंदर तीनों बार आ रहा, and that's why we are having what we can say a confidence as 100. Okay, so that can easily be calculated as what we can say the support of A union D, मतलब support of A union D का support कितना आया था? 3. Okay, मतलब A union D की वैल्यू 3 है. और ऐसे कितने ट्रांजैक्शंस है जिसके अंदर A आ रहा उस समय D भी आ रहा? कितने ट्रांजैक्शंस है? 3. So 3 by 3 that is equals to what? 1, and 1 is what? 100%. Okay. Another example is what? D arrow A. D arrow A मतलब D what we can say, yes, when D and A are associated together, D implies A. Okay. अब D implies A के लिए support कितना है? How many times D and A are coming in between these 5 transactions? Of course 3 times, and that's why 60% is the support. How many such transactions are there where D comes? D कितने बार आया है? 4 बार. And how many number of transactions are there where A comes when the D comes, or A comes whenever the D appears? 4 बार D आ रहा, लेकिन उसमें से 3 बार ऐसा है कि D के साथ A आ रहा, in case of 10, 20 and 30 number transaction. So the value is nothing but 3 by 4, and that 3 by 4 comes out to be 75%. So this is what a confidence value for this particular D arrow A. Okay, so likewise we can have the formulas for finding what we can say the support and confidence values. Now let us go further. Close patterns and max patterns. Now this is what some of the advanced terminology. Okay, close patterns and max patterns. Okay. Now, whenever the item set X is closed, okay, if we consider it as a close, the item set X is closed is set as what we can say, if X is frequent, एक particular item set हमने लिया है, उसको हम close कब को बोल सकते हैं कि when that particular X is frequent, मतलब X frequently आ रहा and there exists no pattern Y which is the superset of X with the same support as that of X. Okay, मतलब समझ में आ रहा है आपके कि X को हम क्लोज आइटम सेट कब बोल सकते हैं, क्लोज फ्रीक्वेंट आइटम सेट कब बोल सकते हैं? ऑफ कोर्स ये सारी टर्मिनोलॉजी फ्रीक्वेंट आइटम सेट के ऊपर है. X is considered as a close frequent item set only when its superset, okay, with the same support is not exist, or there there exists no superset or no patterns. क्लियर, समझ में आ रहा है? जैसे एज एन एग्जांपल फिर से मैं बता रहा हूँ, एन आइटम सेट x इज क्लोज इफ x इज फ्रीक्वेंट, ऑफ कोर्स x क्लोज कब रहेगा अगर वो फ्रीक्वेंट है तो, एंड देयर एग्जिस्ट नो पैटर्न्स और नो सुपर पैटर्न, रादर सुपर मतलब क्या, उससे ज्यादा, यानी x से ज्यादा, x तो होना ही चाहिए लेकिन x से ज्यादा, okay, and that super pattern if that is denoted as what we can say y is not a subset of x, okay, अगर ऐसे कंडीशन में वो अगर उसका सुपर पैटर्न उसका सबसेट नहीं है, in that particular case x is considered as a closed pattern. Whereas what the max pattern is, an item set x is the max pattern if x is frequent, maximum frequent pattern बोलते हैं, and there exists no frequent super pattern of that particular x. x का अगर कोई भी frequent super pattern नहीं है तो ऐसे कंडीशन में हम उसे बोल रहे हैं max pattern. Closed pattern is lossless compression of the frequent pattern that reduces what we can say the total number of what we can say the rule that are association rule that we have found. Okay, so of course we are going to discuss this particular terminology of closed patterns and what we can say the max patterns that I will explain in my later videos. Here just I have just given those particular concepts, what those closed patterns are and what those particular max patterns are. So hope you understood all these particular terminologies behind this particular frequent pattern analysis properly, what the association rule is, what the terminology is called as what we can say the support and confidence are. So thank you for watching my videos and keep watching my videos. Thank you friends.